Hello and welcome to the Westcity Church podcast. If you'd like to get to know us more, find us at westcitychurch.com.au. We really hope that you're encouraged by today's message.
Guys, that was beautiful. Absolutely. We're so fortunate to have such an amazing team. Why don't we thank these guys again? I'm going to get Caroline to... You forgot your glasses. Okay. Do you want to borrow mine? Do you need to grab your glasses? Caroline's going to read the passage this morning. No, it won't go bigger.
That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yes. Do I need a microphone? I don't need a microphone.
I'll just like this.
How many?
No.
How many verses? Just all of those.
Just all of that, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a mic? Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Hello. Happy Christmas. I'm reading from Matthew chapter 1, verse 18 to 24. This is how the birth of Jesus, the Messiah, came about. His mother Mary was pledged to be married to Joseph, but before they came together, she was found to be pregnant through the Holy Spirit. Because Joseph, her husband, was faithful to the law and yet did not want to expose her to public disgrace, he had in mind to divorce her quietly. But after he had considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins." All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. When Joseph woke up, he did what the angel of the Lord had commanded him and took Mary home as his wife. Do you want me to continue?
No, don't continue. Just want to talk for a few minutes about this idea, Emmanuel, God with us. It says, they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. And it got me thinking, who are the they? Who is God with? This morning, I want to just ask a few questions around the birth of Jesus. And does the nativity show us anything about who God is with and who can say, Emmanuel, God with us? I think the nativity and the story of the birth of Jesus tells us a lot about that. And the first thing I want to say is this, is that God is with those who are in a mess, who are in broken situations, who are running from terrible things. That's who God is with. Think about the story of Jesus, and I know we curate everything at Christmas. I love it. We have an 8-foot-high tree. We have all the statues of Mary and Joseph. I don't know, he's playing guitar. Joseph and holding, and, the camels and everything. We spent a fortune on them and put them on, Instagram. And I don't have TikTok because I'm too old for that. But, but the story of Jesus was really messy. Think about even that passage. Here, she's not even married. She's found to be pregnant. Joseph, an honorable man, says, I'm going to marry her, then I'll just quietly divorce her. Because this was full on. Think about being pregnant after getting married, and then the census and the journey as a pregnant woman and all the pressures. I mean, just going on holiday this January for a lot of you. Think about the pressure of that trip, just going on holiday, screaming at each other, getting the things out of the car. And those who go camping, don't get me started. I mean, if you're putting up tents, like a few swear words are dropped between parents, I'm sure. It doesn't matter who they are, it's full on. And so they had this journey that was full on. And then they get to the inn and there's no room. And then they have Mary has a baby in basically just a cave with animals. I mean, it's a miracle she survived the birth. And these are the chapters of the story. This is messy, this story, even though we curated it and it seems so wonderful now. It was tough. And very rarely on Christmas Day do we say the ending of the story, because it's more like Lord of the Rings. It's like the first chapter because it doesn't end well. Where we get the ending of the nativity story is a guy called Herod saying, I'm going to order that all babies get killed. And so we've got Mary and Joseph and Jesus as an infant, God with us, running from a despot who's out to kill kids. I know, Merry Christmas. So who is God with? He's with those who are in a mess right now. He's with those who are struggling. He's with those who are running from war. He's with you today. If you're sat here and you go, you know what? Things aren't all neatly wrapped up. Life isn't all perfect and rosy and wonderful. The good news is you can sing at the top of your voice, Emmanuel, which means God with us. Does the nativity tell us anything else? Because you might be sat here and say, well, I'm not running from war. I'm actually pretty comfortable at the moment. I'm pretty blessed. I've got a great job. I've got a great family. Life is good. Does the nativity say anything to me? Yes, I'm glad you asked. Thanks for asking. It does. You say, I'm blessed. I'm well. I'm happy. I'm full. Well, firstly, the nativity story says that God isn't with those in power who oppress those who aren't. Let me say that again. The nativity story, the story of Jesus' birth, tells us that even though Jesus identifies with those on the outskirts, that God is not with those in power who oppress those who have no power. No matter how much they say God is with them. So what do we do if we are in a place where we have power and affluence and freedom? What can we do? Well, the good news of the nativity story is this, that God is with those who are in power if they stand with those who don't have any power, because they are standing where God is. That's the good news. And this morning, I don't know which camp you're in, but I guess we don't want to be Herod. We don't want to be threatened by King Jesus, because all power is threatened by the true King. So we don't want to be that, but what could we be to stand with those who are vulnerable, who are marginalized, who are even hurting, even today amongst us? It got me thinking. I love Richard Rohr. Anyone else like Richard Rohr? Father Richard Rohr. He wrote this. Where is this God being revealed? Not in the safe world, but at the edge, at the bottom, among those where we don't want to find God, where we don't look for God, where we don't expect God. The way we've created Christianity, it all seems like it's all about being nice and pretty and middle class and normal and under the law. Here we have in the gospel stories Jesus, Mary, and Joseph being none of these things. It might just be telling us we should be looking elsewhere. This is a story of Advent. We join Jesus as incarnations of God's peace on this earth for however long it takes. God walks in deep solidarity with humanity, sharing in our sufferings and moments of hope. Amid our hardship, God is with us. Emmanuel remains the same on our lips in troubled times. What could standing with those who are powerless look like this Christmas? I think about those who are opening up homes and tables to others who don't have family this Christmas. I think that's beautiful. I think about those who are advocating for those fleeing from war. We have a lovely couple in our church who are housing a family from the Ukraine, and I love that. I think about another amazing lioness of a woman, Kira Lee, who moved heaven and earth to help people escape and get them over here from the Ukraine. I think of those who we support through our local purse who are working with those in Cambodia, prisoners, working with them so that they can have a future, working with their families who have maybe a parent incarcerated at this time. I love it that we give to supporting that. Maybe this Christmas you want to actually donate towards the local purse early. I would say go for it. Your money is greatly given at that point. Think about those who are fostering kids who maybe don't have parents to look after them, or even worse, their parents cause them harm. And I think these are people who are in power standing with those who don't have power. And I salute you. I think about those in local government. Did everyone know Bronwyn Smith has been elected to local government? Let's give her a clap. Where are you, Bronwyn? She's gone. Oh, that's the message there. Power, holding power, but to serve, not to dominate. Love it. So I have one more thing. Where is the God being revealed? Did I read this? Yeah, I read that. You know why? Because I read that first when I should have gone down and read the other one. So powerful. I want to finish off with this thought. So if it's messy, you can shout Emmanuel. God is with us. You don't have to put it all together and get it all together. God's with you. If you're in a place of power, the good news is that God is with us if we are with them, with those who aren't in power. And I wanted to finish this morning by showing you a 3-minute video from a prophet, the prophet Bono. You may have heard of him. And this is from the NCAAP Awards, and he gives this little speech. And I think this speech encapsulates very much of what Christmas is about, and the birth of Jesus is about. The incarnation is about. This is about God coming. And this little message that he gives, I think, is really who we are as a community and what we endeavor to be this year. So I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. And now let's turn our attention to the man himself, Bono.
Young people like me were parched for the vision that poured out of pulpits of Black America, and the vision of a Black reverend from Atlanta, a man who refused to hate because he knew love would do a better job. These ideas travel, you know, and they reach me clear as any tune, lodged in my brain like a song. I couldn't shake that, and this is Ireland in the 70s growing up. People like me looked across the ocean to the NAACP, and I'm here tonight, and that feels good. Feels very, very good. Well, today, the world looks again to the NAACP. We need the community that taught the world about civil rights to teach it something about human rights. Yeah. I'm talking about the right to live like a human, the right to live, period. Those are the stakes in Africa right now. 5,500 Africans dying every day of AIDS, a preventable, treatable disease. Nearly 1 million Africans, most of them children, dying every year from malaria, death by mosquito bite. And this is not about charity. as you know, here in this room, this is about justice. It's about justice and equality. Now, I know that America hasn't solved all of its problems, and I know AIDS is still killing people right here in America, and I know the hardest hit are African Americans, many of them young women. Today at a church in Oakland, I want to see such extraordinary people. This lioness here, Barbara Lee, took me around, and with her pastor, J. Alfred Smith, and may I say that was the poetry and the righteous anger of the black church that was such an inspiration to me, a very white, almost pink Irish man growing up in Dublin. This is true religion. True religion will not let us fall asleep in the comfort of our freedom. Love thy neighbor is not a piece of advice, it's a command. And that means a lot. That means a lot. That means that in the global village, we're going to have to start loving a whole lot more people. That's what that means. That's right. His truth is marching on. 2 million Americans have signed up to the One campaign to make poverty history. Tonight, the NAACP is signing up to work with us, and so can you. His truth is marching on. Because where you live should not decide whether you live or whether you die. And to those in the church who still sit in judgment on the AIDS emergency, let me climb into the pulpit for just one moment. Because whatever thoughts we have about God, who He is, or even if God exists, most will agree that God has a special place for the poor. The poor are where God lives. God is in the slums, in the cardboard boxes where the poor play house. God is where the opportunity is lost and lives are shattered. God is with the mother who has infected her child with a virus that will take both their lives. God is under the rubble in the cries we hear during wartime. God, my friends, is with the poor, and God is with us if we are with them.
Sounded like our church, didn't it? Did you hear that last bit? Who is God with? He's with those people, and He's with us if we are with them. And I think we are. And I think that that is our aspiration and desire. So this Christmas, if you're suffering, may you know the peace of Jesus Christ, that you will be able to say, Emmanuel. And this Christmas, if you aren't, may you stand with Jesus in bringing His peace that passes all understanding to the world this Christmas too.
Each week at Westcity, we say a benediction together. We do this because we believe that the purpose of the church is to be a caring community for the world, and that as we go and serve others, we enter into Christ's work of welcome, restoration and healing, both for us and others. We believe that in doing so, we get to see and encounter Christ. So let's say the benediction together. We come together as the church to be reminded of the go of Christ. So we will go out and feed the hungry, go out and clothe the naked, go out and fight for justice, go out and end oppression, go out and proclaim anew the old story, go out and associate with those who don't look like us, think like us, act like us, and don't even like us. And we'll do it all in the name of the one who sent us. His name is Jesus.